world too. Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't. Hopping. I apologize. We're running a little late today. Little technical difficulties. I apologize. It won't happen again. Well, at least I'm gonna try to not let it happen again. We had little technical difficulties, but I appreciate y'all listening in. Let's get to listeners. People are coming in on the live. We running a little late. Myq, people coming in or what?
No, but let me put that number up right now.
Yeah. I mean the call, but the people are coming in on the listen, on the live.
Yeah. People are all, we are live.
Okay, we are live and direct. It's dope. What's that number, Myq? 347. I still don't remember the damn number. It's weird. Many times as I said it.
It is 347-464-2827. Get a live consultation on air.
On air. What's up, Big Myq? What's going on?
Chilling. Had a great weekend. How about you, man? Good?
That's good. Everything's been cool.
The Godfrey Live 500th episode sold out?
Absolutely. It was sold out?
Sold out, baby.
Oh, dope. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. We're going to do our thing. We're going to have some fun tonight, too. So I'm excited, man. Had a dope weekend, man. Quiet weekend, but a dope weekend. I was winding down from Buffalo. Shout out to Buffalo, man. I enjoyed being out there. For real. I mean, that's one of my new favorite cities. You notice I said one of, because we got a lot of traveling we got to do. Shout out to everybody, all the comments and stuff on the lives. A lot of people giving love. A lot of people, and a lot of people was on some like, yo, I'm talking too long. I'm talking to dudes a little bit too long. So let me address that. First of all, I think there's a certain level of empathy that you have to have when somebody's pouring their life out on air live. So I get it. You have to be you got to be sympathetic of the fact that a lot of dudes are in pain, a lot of women are in pain, relationships are painful sometimes, and there's this emotional pain, and it's kind of like that. It's like that ghost peppers where it gets on your tongue and you just can't. No matter what you do, it's still burning you. You don't know what to do. You're tossing and turning. So the first thing I want to say is I like to be in a situation where I'm sympathetic to what people are feeling, because I think it's important to understand that people are in pain sometimes, and you gotta keep that in mind. And a lot of times, when I'm talking to somebody, there'll be a situation where I'll already know, from what they said, I'll have an answer for them. But they need to get it out. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, a lot of times when I'm talking to some people, there are lessons and things that I'm trying to, advice and stuff that I'm trying to give that's comparable, not just for this particular guy, but it's a lesson that I want to kind of let people know. How's my eyeline? My eyeline is crazy. What do you mean? I look all right? Yeah. So it's I'll be talking about something that I think will ultimately help somebody else that's listening, somebody who's not brave enough to come and call in and say, yo, this is what my situation is. Not that I'm not blowing nobody up, and it's anonymous. You can give me whatever name you want. Long as you're being honest about what your problem is or what the situation is. 347-464-2827. Call in. Let's get the super chats popping too. Let's get everybody come on in, y'all. Come on in. Let's get it up.
If you send a super chat with the last 4 digits of your number, I'll let you be the next caller.
Okay. All right. So if you send a super chat in with the last 4 digits of your number, you will get moved to the front. We appreciate that. Y'all, so get the super chats in and make sure y'all are commenting and sharing and liking and sharing. If you know anybody that needs this, man, hit them with a text, hit them with the link. There's a way to share it. So share that. It was a really good situation. I was talking to one of the dudes that I've been counseling for a long time, and he's got, living his best life now. Shout out to the Cinnabon. And he was telling me that his man, his one of his friends was going through some shit where, like, his girl was like, yo, she just out of the blue. I mean, they have been dealing with each other for quite some time, and maybe like 8 years. And out of the blue, she goes, oh, I need some space. I need some time to work them things out. Keep in mind, y'all, if your girl tells you that she needs space, understand what the subtext of that is. The subtext of that is, this relationship is over, but I need some time to see what else is out there. If I could get something that's better, that I could level up without you. And hopefully I'm gonna tell you, look, I'll give you some, I just need some time to sort some things out so that I can see what my options are. And then if I can't level up without you, then I can always come back. So it literally puts a pause on your life so that they can decide whether or not you're worthy of spending time with in the first place. It's a really selfish thing to do, and it's under the guise of this is just what I'm feeling. So anytime somebody has ever said to me, I need some time, I go, I throw a calendar at them, and I go, now you got all the time. All the months, all the days, all the hours, because I'm out. I'm not going to sit around and allow you to put me on hold, to put my life on hold, where especially when I'm not initiating this, so that you can figure out whether or not you're going to level up on me or not, whether I'm good enough. So the advice that I would have gave and that my good friend gave was pack your stuff and go. It's an interesting kind of situation. Oh yeah, that sounds better. Thanks, Myq. It's an interesting kind of situation because what ultimately happens is, anytime I give a guy advice, what they usually do is they freestyle. I'm good. They freestyle. What I mean by freestyle is they do a portion of what I asked them to do, what my advice is, and then they freestyle afterwards, which always goes to trash. Because overall, there's a reason why I'm telling you to do the things that I'm telling you to do. This is something I've been down this road 100 times, and I'm telling you from the wisdom of experience. Not just because I'm some kind of guru that gets that by osmosis. A lot of things, and I've made these mistakes myself. I'm no different than you. The difference is that I've spent the time and energy thinking about how my decisions could have been better. And so anyway, he goes in, she says, he goes, look, I want to see you. She doesn't want to see him. Could you please just get your stuff out of my place? So he goes in, he moves his stuff out, right? The bed, all of his stuff, he just moves it all out, right? Now, when she comes home, now the place looks empty and it's got that echo in it, which makes her go, hey, is this the right thing to do? The other thing is, they were splitting the rent. So now, since she wants to level up, she got to come out with that paper too. That means she got to pay his end of the rent, right? Which he had his own place and was living with her and was helping her with her rent as well. So when he moved out from under the grapevine, that the woman that told him that she wants to take some time, she was like, man, I don't know if I made the right decision. And then as she goes through her things, she finds out that he took a drill bit and drilled her pots in her rice maker. Like, so I can't hear you, Myq. So he sabotaged her rice maker.
That's spiteful.
Yeah, it's just like, and he broke off she has like some kind of fryer where he broke off the spigot and stuff. And then, so the thing is, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Let me tell you what's wrong. We got a call, right? No, but 347-464-2827, call in. The reason why
we do have a call, actually. You want to talk to them?
Bring them in, and then I'll finish this up. I don't want to.
Caller, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you from? Caller, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm from Houston, Texas.
What's your name, bro?
Man, look, man, Jono, Jay.
Jay, what up?
Man, look, I did a consultation with you, man. I listened to you that one time. Remember I told you how I wanted to just do my own thing and
Yeah.
blase, and
Okay.
man, it got ugly, man. It just got ugly. The long story short, man, I think that age thing, being authentic, credible, and empathetic, I think that's how I'm living now, bro. 'Cause
Why? What were you doing? You were not living that way. You were lying and doing all kinds of, shady.
Just cheating, just being a dog.
And let me explain something to you. You can exercise options. You just got to be honest about the fact that you're not exercising out. When you lie, this is weird because there's a couple of dudes who who are in this manosphere. There's a dude by the name of Alpha Male who says lie to these bitches. Tell them whatever they want. All you want is you. And I'm gonna tell you what guys don't understand is when you're lying, right? What you're basically saying is what I'm asking for. What I'm asking you for, I don't deserve it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you're lying, what you're saying is that I need to present myself in one way, right? I need to present in one way, even though I'm another way, which is commonly what I call shoplifting the pussy. And the fact that you're living that lie every day, you are living in fear. When are you going to be exposed? Would you say that, John?
Yeah, I would. It was like a gray area. I'll be honest with you. We were it was a gray area, but at the same time, I shouldn't have done what I did.
When you say it was a gray area,
woman called her. Oh, no, go ahead.
When you say it's a gray area, what do you mean?
We were living together, but like we weren't on like good terms. Like I was like, I needed my space. I was sleeping in another room, sort of thing. But I never came out and was like, hey, like I want to do my own thing. I was just like, I need my space. I'm sleeping in the other room.
Then that's not a gray area.
Yeah.
If it's one thing, if it's a gray area is when you don't know, when you haven't decided. But when you've already decided, you know what the truth is. You got to own up to the truth. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Right, and it's a fear that you have. And what's interesting about that is you'd be surprised what women will allow or will not. I shouldn't say allow, but a woman will, if you give her the choice, a lot of times she'll choose you, especially if you're honest, because every woman wants an honest man.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
So
that's what I've come to learn now.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's what I've come to learn now. It's just like it's so much stress. My TVs were destroyed, man. Like I've had destroyed TVs.
Oh wow.
Man, yeah, like it was just bad, man. Like my TVs. I'm trying to think what else.
You really like CDs, huh, John?
I mean, it cost me. I had like a 60-inch, man. It was like a brand new 60.
Broke the TV and everything.
And broke my TV, smashed my car window.
Oh man, how much did you lose? Man. How much did you have to spend to replace? Like, how much money did you lose in the context of your gray area horse shit?
Man, shit. Honestly, probably anywhere between four to five.
4 or 5 stack. Yeah, that's crazy. And all you had to do was say, look, I'm just not in the same place right as you are right now, and I want to do what I want to do. I mean,
exactly.
Long as you learn, bro. I mean, we all understand something. 2 things you're always going to have to do is give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. Well, none of us are perfect. But if we approach life in the context of wanting to acknowledging the fact that we make mistakes and that we're flawed and that we're willing to do better on the next, to learn from the mistakes and do better, you cannot be a better human being than that.
No, and that's facts, man. I think moving forward, bro, it's just I'm gonna just be honest, man. I'm every single woman I meet, man. I don't know why I come off as a relationship dude. I guess 'cause I'm a nice guy, but I'm gonna just start off being like, hey, baby, this ain't that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you could be the relationship dude and still say as long as the honesty is coming out of your face. Because if you've been honest, then nobody can get mad. Now they could try to get mad, and you could get, look, we spoke about this. So if you can't handle it, then I guess we got to move on. We both got to go our separate ways. And even the ability to kind of say that I am I am important enough that I can move on and I have options beyond this. There's an attraction to that. That makes you more attractive. Nobody don't want somebody that nobody wants. You feel me?
Oh, facts. That's like, man, this is like if I was out of shape or ugly looking dude, like I don't have, man, come on now.
And if you are out of shape or ugly, then you need to start working on being the best version of yourself. And when you do that, you come off with a different confidence and a different understanding that makes you attractive. Anything else, John?
No, that's it, man. I think you answered it. I think I need to live by H, man, and I think you put me in a better space. And again, thank you for that consultation at one time. You probably don't remember because you talked to 1,000,000 people, bro.
Yeah, I do a lot of them.
I should just listen to you, brother.
I appreciate
you, dog.
I appreciate you too,
yeah.
fam. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Don't forget, if y'all need a consultation, DanteNero.com, click on consult. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell anytime we go live, anytime we put up videos. You'll get notified for that. Comment, thumbs up, all that good shit. DanteNero.com, Man School 202 YouTube channel. Follow me there, Instagram, all that. What I was saying was, Myq, I was saying that my man took a drill bit and went through the pots.
Way to show her how much you think about her. You know what I mean? Like, what a loss. And I always feel like that. Like if you give too much attention on the way out, it's like way to like really show her how much this is hurting you. Like
because what she said,
like you think it's making you look strong, but it's she'll know for years. Like, oh, this dude, all he does was think about me after we broke up.
And then what she's ultimately saying is he didn't think he was worthy of me in the first place. Let's get that number up too, Myq. He didn't think he was worthy.
We actually have a super chat that might be calling in, so I'm going to give him a minute.
Okay,
cool.
Have
a super chat of Richard AAA. You want to hear his super
chat?
Yeah,
let me hear the super chat.
He says, salute to Dante for the advice and Big Myq for making the live happen. It was his first super chat ever, $10.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chats. Shout out to Myq and I appreciate it. We're waiting for this call to come in.
Also, I have a clip here from another show. They went on a speed date. A couple of the people who work here.
Okay.
And one of the guys who works in sales was talking about his like big pickup line, and I'm just curious.
Go ahead. Let's do it. I'd love to do it.
Let's see how.
While you're bringing it up, let me just say real quick that when you drill somebody's pots or you do something vindictive, all you're telling this woman is that she made the right decision by dumping you in the first place. So then after he did that, then it doesn't even come, the relationship doesn't even, it's not even about whether or not this guy was worthy of me or am I making a mistake. Then the whole relationship becomes about the vindictive fact that you put holes in her pots.
She'll never have to second guess it.
Never have to. And then
if you just walked out, she's like, oh, did I fuck up?
Exactly. He's just moving on. Now here's the crazy thing. Then he went on Facebook, The Love I Lost. If only he's contacting her sister and her aunt and her cousin and her parakeet, and all of which I would have not advised to do. When somebody tells you they don't want to be around you, believe them and give them that space. At least you give them a chance to see what it's like. Now she got to pony up that other half of that rent. She's got to pony up. She got to get a new bed. She got, there's a lot. I mean, even if nothing else. Even if your value is nothing more than half the rent, you're letting her know that, look, I brought value to your house. And I mean, of course, a guy like that is going to spend money and do things, and he wants, and just because he didn't think he was worth anything, screwed it up. And we got that call came in.
No, I could put on the video.
Yeah, put the video. Let's do the video.
While we wait for this gentleman to pick up.
Again, I want to apologize that we were running late today. Hold on. He said something about crazy fake. I heard him say that. Yeah, he's bringing it up. My line is figs.
I get really close and
There you go. So he's talking about his favorite pickup line.
Okay.
I've done this to you to give you an example of it. I get really close and I grab, hold my date by the arm and lean in and get closer to her ear and say, I want you to sit on my face, please.
Oh my God.
And
Oh my.
it has about a 4 in 10 hit rate. Um,
I'm back.
there's usually 2 or 3 girls that are horribly offended. 2 or 3 girls are like, what the and 4 girls are pretty consistently say yes or giggle and open up to Thomas further.
It's a 4 in 10 sit rate.
Yeah,
Not
that's,
bad. It's not bad.
Or squat, depending on how you look at it.
that is a horrible rate. That's 400 and 1,000, which is not a great rate. And the idea is that what's interesting is that he goes, you know, I get a 4 in 10 rate. He already knows that it's not clearly it's not a great pickup line because of the fact that it's such a low percentage.
In baseball, he'd be one of the best hitters in the league.
Yeah, and baseball sucks. So,
Baseball's boring.
but I think the problem is somebody that's gonna go for that is into you anyway, or they're just like,
I think it's that kind of thing. Like, are you very quickly into me or not? So like,
yeah. And if you are, you are.
I guess 4 out of 10 are just like, yeah.
I
whatever.
do also think there's a subtext to that says that this guy is unapologetically who he is, where it could be to a certain extent where a woman finds it attractive. But I'm not.
Like an adventure.
I'm not shooting my shot for like, man, you'll starve for 4 out of 10. You know, I know guys that
He
have
said 3 of them are horrified. So that means for every 4 that work,
3
3 women you've like scarred to the point where like they'll tell their friends.
right. You are the dirtbag that the story that everybody tells, or you are the guy that maybe the girl calls the cops on. You know, first of all, he says I
What
grab.
the fuck did you just say?
Or I grab him by the arm, right, which is as a no. Then it's like I pull him close, and then I'm like, man, Here's what I look. If this was the 1990s, Joe Biden, smell your hair, Anita Hill, I put pubic hair on your Coke, Long John Silver time, that would be great. But this is a time where you literally could get hurt doing that. You could be. I mean, you're traumatizing people, and it's just really disrespectful to do that to somebody. I mean, to do that without even knowing the fact that you don't even know if you can say that. That you haven't even.
That's his opening line.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
He
That's
didn't say
ridiculous.
pickup, he said it's his opening line.
His opening line. That's not even his pickup line. Like he hasn't even primed the pumps. Understand this.
He also, ironically, he works in sales.
Yeah,
That's Tom from sales.
Oh yeah,
like,
so he's cold calling.
That's literally
Yeah, he's cold calling. He's hoping. You know, he's like, look, I'll just say that to
Every
10.
no is one step closer to a yes.
Right. I'll just say it to 1,000 women, and 400 is not a bad rate. Dog,
You scarred 300 women.
You're literally talking about human beings, other human beings. So no, don't do that. I mean,
And also, we have the call whenever you're ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Call, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
Oh, what's good, y'all? My name Don. I'm from Milwaukee.
What up, Don? What's going on, bro? How can I help you?
Shit, first of all, big props, man, to the whole man.
Thank you,
Whole
family. I
crew and all
appreciate
that,
you.
man.
I appreciate you.
Essentially, I ain't gonna bullshit you, dog. I wasn't living by Ace. It was kind of like I was finding out that 90% honesty still mean you a liar.
Yeah.
I'm with this girl now, and she, man, brought that shit up in my face so many times. But now that we good, now that I'm trying to go all in for it, it just feel like she keep going back to before we were dating, how the whole way we started dating was messy and it fucked up the trust. So it's like we take 5 steps forward and then the emotions hit. Like, I'm still fucked up about how you acted.
Then you
before we
gotta
started dating.
let me tell you what you gotta do. You gotta end the relationship.
We've been dating all of like 2 weeks.
I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, how long have you been living proper? How long have you been practicing Ace?
I'm gonna say it really hit like New Year's when like I had to tell her about the other women.
Okay.
And then have to come clean and let her know, like, all right.
So you
this
talking
what
about a
you
couple
into.
weeks ago?
Yeah, like you've been dating
All right,
for New Year's.
all right. Let me give you a little. You gotta. You look. If you got a paper cut, it wouldn't heal in since January 1st. You feel me? So you got to give a little space for that. But if you're going into February, March, and you're still getting this stuff thrown up in your face, right? You gotta like a woman is never gonna get over it. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't really have. I mean, the pain that they have is like forever. The difference is what you have to do is you got to give options. You got to put up options. There has to be. And I say this all the time: never give ultimatums. Make ultimate decisions. So you don't say, if you keep doing this, we ain't gonna be together. You just go, look, this is not gonna work. I can't do this. And you leave. And you go find somebody else. Now, you don't leave as a technique. Let me be clear. Because you don't want to use that as a technique and then she goes, well, fine, go anyway. And then you don't really want to leave. And now you like, wait a minute, can't we talk about this? Now you really are a liar. Because not only did you lie about other women, but you didn't even lie about what your boundaries are. When you follow ACE, when you are authentic and when you're telling the truth, you got to be truthful about everything. That means about the boundaries. That means about the white lies. That means about the honesty of who you are and what you are. And if you want to, still smash out and you could do that. You just got to open your mouth and say, look, I'm not really about this on this one. How old are you, Don?
Just turned 29.
Yeah, I mean, dog, you don't have to be in a relationship, dog. You don't have to. I mean, just like she doesn't have to spend time with somebody who's not going to give her a relationship. But the honesty of it is that when you do say, the reason why she's still messed up about it is because you weren't honest in the first place, and she doesn't believe that you're going to turn the corner, that you really turn the corner. She feels like you might just slide back. The only way you can change that is you got to be honest, but that means honest in every situation. That means at such point in time when you know that you being true and you putting it down and you riding for the way you want to ride for it. If she's not going to accept that and move on, then you gotta leave.
And let me add a little bit more context. We work in healthcare. I'm the only straight black male in healthcare. I'm 6'1", 220,
right,
and shit. So it really do be like a whole bunch of white women trying to over-sexualize shit, but I ain't as messy as I could be. Like, I tried to keep little, like, for lack of a better word, situationships, but friends I was really fucking.
Yeah,
so
but what I'm saying is,
here's the last one I met, and when she came along, I had to tell her, like, yeah, there's other people who we still work with currently who I've slept with. So I think that's part of the hurt, that she still see him every once in a while. Too.
Yeah, but the bottom line, you got to give her a little time to heal, but you also got to be very clear about what your boundaries are. That you're not gonna continue to relive that, because it ain't good for her. It surely ain't good for you. If she's trying to get a pound of flesh out of this, it's never gonna be enough. The point is that at some point in time, she has to make the decision that she's going to move on. And if she can't make that decision, I told her, you got to have empathy for that, you put her in a bad way where she couldn't, where there was so much dirt that she couldn't get past it. But you also have to put yourself first, because if you don't, nobody else will. So if you're in a situation and you like this woman and you're trying to do the right thing, and then she won't let you do the right thing, then you got to go. It's time to go. I mean, I think it's only January, so I mean, it's still kind of fresh.
That's how I feel. I feel like I want to give her the space to forgive it, but I also don't have a personal timeline of how long this shit should last. So I guess that's why I'm calling. It's like, how long is too long? Because she just told me this was 3 weeks ago, but I'm like, bro, this was awesome before we started dating.
But let me tell you something. It's gonna be 4 weeks, and then it'll be 2 months, and then it'll be 3 months. There'll never be a situation where she will go, this is enough. I don't think that, especially if it's multiple women and then she does feel, because here's the other thing: a woman in a situation like that, she doesn't think that she's good enough, right? So you got to make it clear to her that she is enough. But to the same token, I can't tell you how long. I mean, that goes to you, and I mean, you know her better than I do. What's fair? But at a point where you are disgusted, where you can't even bring the patience to go through it no more, it's time to go. You feel me? Because
what's crazy is, as dope as of a connection as we have, she'll bring this shit up as a joke on a good day.
Well, you got to stop that. You got to stop that. You got to stop that. You got to go, listen, I'm trying, when that happens, because it's not a joke. It's a way of rubbing your face in it, even, and you got to say, listen, I know that I've done things to hurt you, and I respect the fact that you have pain, but you bringing this up is not okay. It's not okay.
We've had that talk.
Okay, and does she still bring it up?
Yeah.
Well, then you're very close to where I would say you got to get out of that. Because let's be honest, what do you think? Let's be honest. What is going to happen that's going to make her think that okay, he's what's the moment that's going to happen that she's going to say enough is enough?
I don't know, dog.
That was interrogative. There's nothing that's gonna make it okay. What has to make it okay is that you gotta leave, and she's gotta go. I want this dude back because we have such a dope connection. And then the boundaries, and then you gotta move on. And if she comes back and says, "Look, I really want this to work," then you have to set the boundaries, and then you gotta start being credible right from the point. You gotta look. I mean, a lot of times when girls will be like, you know, when the girls will be jealous or insecure, and they'll be like, yo, I really want to be back in this. A lot of times I don't even go back over. I don't pick up a dirty plate out the sink. I take a clean one out of the cabinet because, to tell you honestly, they're not gonna get over it. Like what? I mean, if you think about it, what is gonna make this woman go, okay, now I'm enough, when she feels like she was never enough? But you can. You know, if you go your separate way and you start with somebody else, you can start fresh and go, yo, this is how I rock. And I'm not saying that she might swing back but you can't leave with the intention on it being a technique. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, don't make it a like when guys talk, real game is no game. You got to be authentic even with what you're saying. You got to leave because I'm not willing to go through this and have this throw it up in my face for the rest of my life.
I feel you. You know, it's like you and Patrice used to say about getting on the highway, 3 cars behind and shit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now. Like, I can't. If you starting off thinking I'm an ain't shit nigga, then how we gonna get past this? How we gonna go?
You're not. There's nothing you can do. There's no amount of flowers or chocolate or deep dicking that's gonna change that. What will happen is that if she's got a little time and space to kind of figure that out, she could say she's gonna have to make comparisons with other guys, whether she has a connection with them. And then if she says, look, I really want to be this, and then you got to resist because there's no, what would make you think this is going to be different? You got to ask that. What's going to be different? I understand that I hurt you and I made mistakes, but I'm trying to be better and you won't let me be better. And then
I'm trying to be empathetic about it. I'm trying not to just have a shoulder shrug mentality like, yeah.
I get you, but what she's doing, throwing in your face is abusive. And here's the thing. If you could find a woman who would be abusive, right? Like I would even let a woman, you know, dirt that I've done in the past, I would even let a woman get that off, right? If I thought that after she got it off, right, that we could move on. But the problem is it never stops. It doesn't, once you've allowed this disrespect, it's not, a woman doesn't go, okay, I've disrespected him 12 times, now I'm good, let's start fresh. What she will do is she will destroy the relationship. Understand this is something, as a man, if you're gonna be a man in a relationship, you have to, or the dominant one in a relationship, you have to be strong enough to protect her from her emotions. You got to be strong enough to protect your relationship from her emotions. And you got to be strong enough to protect yourself from her emotions, because when she has this insecurity and stuff, none of it is logic. It's not going to stop. So at some point in time, you're going to have to put your foot down and go, listen, the next time that you throw that in my face, we're done. I love you. Huh?
But what about, like, if she by herself and she just gets sad randomly and, like, you know, I was just thinking about it. I feel like
there has to be no space for it. There has to be no space for it. Because how did she move on if you don't, if the only option for her to move on and be with you or not move on, or see, here's the option, is to get over it and move on and then have a great life together, or for her to stay in that space and then she's not happy and you're not happy either. That's your two choices. And I don't think the first one, you being in a relationship that you're miserable in, I don't think that's a choice. Do you?
Nah.
So you
I
got
try to provide the space for her to tell me how she feeling. Like I feel like a good relationship should have that where it's open communication. I don't want her
yes,
telling other
but
people
but you
and
got
then trying
but
to
you're
keep it from me.
but we're also talking about the pretense in which the relationship is consummated. And if it's consummated in the fact that she's going to keep throwing stuff in your face, it doesn't even give you space to be kind or to be empathetic or to make it up and to build a trust. You can't build a trust if somebody's not going to let you. You understand?
Yeah, I think it's a little deeper than just throwing it back in my face. I almost feel like having a nigga that's sorry and okay, baby, I'll make it up and do anything is like
Because women will get abusive.
Gross.
Yeah, because anytime there's this, I mean, you tell me, look, I don't know your life, but I can tell you got a little street in you. Here's the thing, the street rules matter. In what situation is somebody a cornball that everybody could take advantage of and people don't take advantage of them?
There ain't many.
It's very rarely is somebody doing charity like that. If you pussy, you gonna get fucked. So you gotta the same rules is true that there has to be a standard in which you operate from and respect. You can apologize, you can do things to make up, you can be trustworthy, but you can't be trusted if somebody's not gonna give you an opportunity to be trustworthy. And sometimes the damage is so done or the person is in such a funky place that they can't move forward, which is fucked up, and it's fucked up that you made those decisions that put them there. But what are you gonna do? I mean, you're gonna let somebody abuse you for the rest of your life. You feel me?
I feel you, man.
All right, so just figure it out, and when you get tired of it, you gotta put your foot down. Okay?
I appreciate the advice, dog.
Thank you, dog. I appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Consultations, DanteNero.com. Please like, share, hit the bell, subscribe, all of that shit. Man School 202, and all my stuff is on DanteNero.com and Instagram and all that shit. Follow, share, consultations. Don't forget the super chats, 347-464-2827. Call in. I'm here giving out the free advice, just giving out the consultations quick. I'm trying to move as quick. We got a call. Let's go.
Yo, Dante, I'm on.
What's going on, Pop? You on?
Yeah, how you doing, my man? Listen, I'm gonna make it quick as far as you a legend or the Patrice O'Neal, all that good stuff. Look, so I remember the other day you was mentioning about when you going through a drought, like your perspectives on that.
Yeah.
Cause I've been going through a drought, and I'm the type of person that, like, when I'm going through it, I basically just do the internal work, do the yogas and you whatever you was talking about the other day.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, what do you think about, the whole drought situation?
So let me say this, and I've heard this a lot of times. You'll find women will do this. They'll go through a breakup or something, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm just trying to do me. I'm trying to do self." Look, listen. You got to get back. It's just like anything else. You got to get back on the horse. You withdrawing from life. Let's be honest. You doing yoga is not going to stop you from hollering at somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you on a bus, you can holler at somebody. You know what I mean? If you on a bus, if you at the movies by yourself buying popcorn, and don't buy them popcorn. We talked about that before, Figging his dumb popcorn shit. But I mean, how much does it take to lay a brick? Wow, I love your hair, love your shoes, like if you're consistently laying a brick, and this is why I don't have no droughts. Unless I either don't want to smash or it's somebody to smash because of the simple fact that I'm always social. I may not be sexual, but I'm always social. I'm always talking to people. And I mean men, women, otherwise, I mean, I don't, pause, I don't swing like that, but I'm saying I'm always being a social person. And what happens is when you go through this drought, what you do is you become introverted. You go, I'm going to work on this, and we're going to, let's be honest, if you were taking salsa classes, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, boxing classes, and yoga, right, there's still women around you. There's women in the jiu-jitsu gym. There's women in the boxing gym. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be social. You always got to, like, even when you're in a relationship, I'm not advocating that you're hitting on women, but you should still be laying the 5 bricks. The woman that is with you because of who you are, because you're this social, likable person that other women find attractive. If you get into a relationship and you change who you are, you're changing the thing that she found attractive in the first place. Why would you do that? It's literally like you fishing with shrimp, and all of a sudden you start fishing with a brick. You're like, dog, what are you doing? So I haven't said this in a long time, but a woman will fall in love with you for everything that you are. She will spend the rest of the relationship trying to change you into everything you are not. If she succeeds, she will leave you for the guy who is what you were in the first place. So they fall in love with you are, and then all of a sudden you get in a relationship and you start changing up. This is the same thing that happens when a guy, what was the dude from the Golden State Warriors that married a porn star? What was Bob Smith? What was his name?
Oh, Joe
Smith. Joe Smith marries a porn star. She's giving away pussy out of both pants legs, right? He marries her up, and then when things get hard, right? All of a sudden she's giving Cameron a massage on air. Do you know what I mean? And she's going right back to the OnlyFans because, like, dog, people don't change, man. I shouldn't say people don't change, but it's just very unlikely for people to change. And even when they change, to a certain degree, you can be a better version of yourself, but you're still the person that you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of bringing it to, like my situation specifically, one of the biggest things that I was going through right now was also being unemployed. So another thing was like, I was just kind of like, if I
all right, well, let me say this. You're unemployed, right? What are you doing to not be unemployed? Like how many applications are you sending out daily?
No, I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm working now.
But how long were you not working?
I was not working for like 2 months.
Okay, so let's be honest. Be honest with me.
Yeah.
While you were looking for were you on that grind 8 hours a day looking for a job?
Nah.
So what I'm saying, if you wanted a job, you could have put that. If you had treated, if dudes when I hear, I had a soft patch, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Then the question is, did you spend a 40-hour week trying to get a job? Nobody does that. Because if you did that, you'd have a job in a week and a half. You may not have the job you want, but you would be up and doing. And understand, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm a person. I understand depression. I understand mental illness. But it's hard to be depressed when you beating those streets and you out there sending out applications or you working or whatever or doing everything in your power to move yourself forward. Plus, it gives you a sense of purpose because you're working so hard to move your life forward. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And so this whenever we go in these dry spells, we are making a decision to succumb to the bullshit. I said this the other day. This is something. It's like when you ever have a friend that's a fuck up, like, or a friend that's like depressed and don't want to get off, they can't find a job and just moping around and stuff. Let me explain something to you. That guy has an agenda. He has a blueprint. He has a plan that he's trying to execute. And when you help him, what you are doing is you're standing in the way of his plan. What I'm saying is, and this is a different perspective. Like, say if he's running an obstacle course, right? And his job is to come in last on the obstacle course. But you see him lagging behind, so you run in. When he hits the wall, you run in and give him a boost, right? So you give him a boost over the wall, and then what does he do on the next obstacle? He just slows down on that one. Because even if it's subconscious, he has decided that his agenda is to fuck up his life. You're the problem. He's not the problem. He knows what he wants to do. He wants to. So that's like a dude that drinks too much and gets DUIs, and then he gets out of DUIs, and then he beg you for money. Yo, I need money for the lawyer. And when you're voluntarily reaching out, helping this one, here's what you're doing, because you don't have a plan for him. All you're trying to do is be a good person and help out. But what you're really doing is you're sabotaging his plan to be a fuck up. You see how that is different way to look at it?
Yeah, I think, and I don't know if like therapy or psychology, they say you're enabling them or something like that.
You're also self-fulfilling. Like their problems that they have in their life is self-fulfilling. Like how they're treating themselves and the actions that they're taking is because they don't love themselves and they don't think that they deserve better. So the same thing is true. Now peep this. The same thing is true when you're going through a dry spell, but you going to yoga and you doing this and you scared. And that's no disrespect to you, because we all get scared. But you're scared to put your toe in the water. So you're finding all these other distractions so that you don't have to be a straight up dude. And that shit you talking about being into myself, it's all crap, dog. It's fear. This is something, and when you say fear to a guy, a lot of times dudes get offended. If they get offended because as a man, you're not supposed to be afraid. I'm gonna tell you a quick story where you should never think this. Let's get the super chats up, y'all. Get the super chats up. Years ago, I'm watching Mike Tyson. This is when Mike Tyson was at the height of his thing. Mike, do you remember Tyrell Biggs? Can you bring a picture of Tyrell Biggs? Tyrell Biggs was fighting Mike Tyson. Tyrell Biggs looked like a dark-skinned Muhammad Ali. He even fought like a dark-skinned Muhammad Ali. But he looked frail, right? This is how you'll remember Tyrell Biggs. After the fight, Mike Tyson was going, I was hitting him. He was like, ooh, ow. Every time I hit him, he was crying. Do you remember? Remember that fight? It was like, he was like, every time I hit him in the body, he was like, ow, right? Yeah. That's how you remember Tyrell Biggs. This guy was a tomato can that was going to get beat. He was already afraid. You see him, he was already afraid. And this was when Mike was at his best. Like, he was ferocious. Most dangerous man on the planet. And but I remember watching Mike Tyson in the dressing room. You know how they warm up and skip rope and they do pad work, right? His trainers at the time and his promoters were going, you the champ, Mike, you the champ, Mike. You going this, you going that, don't worry, you going to do it, blah, 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 right? And they was like hyping it up. And I couldn't understand for the life of me why they would be hyping up Mike Tyson in a situation where he was fighting this tomato can that he was clearly going to walk through, right? And it dawned on me, even Mike Tyson needed somebody to hype him up. Even the most dangerous man on the planet was afraid, and he needed his friends to reassure him and tell him that he was great. And when you look at, if you ever get a chance and you watch Mike Tyson's one-man show, he talks about Myq Blood Green and how Myq Blood Green was scary. Because he was like Jason, how every time he hit him, he just kept getting up. What I'm saying is fear is a part of humanity. Bravery doesn't exist without fear. Bravery is overcoming fear. It's not being afraid. Sociopaths are not afraid. You know what I'm saying? And those are people that have something mentally wrong with them, chemically wrong with them. So being afraid is not the problem. The problem is, don't fool yourself into the bullshit. I'm just going to get into myself and I'm doing yoga. You still got to come out and go holler at somebody. You still got to engage with somebody on a social basis, because if you don't, you will always be in that slump. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, one quick, thing. I want to see what you think about it. As far as like, when you lacking money and whatnot, as far as like me personally, I just kind of like think about like, yeah, where the fuck I'm gonna take this chick? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Look, there's a lot of if you go online, there's a lot of free stuff. But here's what I would say. You gotta be trying to what gives you the confidence is the fact that you're making an attempt to be your every day, you put your feet on the ground. And sometimes you don't always win it, you don't always kill it, but you put your feet on the ground with the intention on being the best version of yourself. Right? And a lot of times we fall short of that. But I've been in a situation where I didn't have a lot going on. I didn't have a car, but I was like, listen, I remember I was like 20 something years old. I was living in my mom's basement, smashing chicks on the futon, which is crazy because when you're on the futon, like ladies out there, they know the futon dick. When you get the futon dick, that's a dude that's got nothing to lose. He's leaving it all on the field. Right, you want to leave. You want to leave her shivering on the futon. You know what I mean? Because that's all you got, right? So, but I knew I didn't have my life together, and I was trying to get my shit together. I remember not having a car, and I was riding trains and stuff. And I just was really to a chick. I was like, look, I ain't got a lot of money. I like you, and I ain't got a lot of money. My goal is to do such and such and such, and I work on that every day. And when a woman sees you working, right, a good woman will take a guy who has potential in a minute if he's honest about it. Now, if you got a chick that's trying to secure the bag, she's going to always be trying to secure the bag. You talk about somebody, you know what I'm saying? If she's, I mean, I think it was was talking about. 50 Cent was like, that Gabrielle Union is trying to secure the bag, like she's for the streets, because she was like, she would upgrade for somebody else. Now, somebody who's like that is going to do that anyway. But there's women that do, there are women who are not like, who like a dude, who want a good dude, who want an honest dude. But the guy, but don't get me wrong, if you act pussy, you will get fucked. So you still have to maintain your frame, and even though you ride in the train and all you got is a Metro card. But if you say, look, I really like you, and I know guys who are, musicians or singers or rappers, and they believe in what they do, but you know what I'm saying? You can't say this is what I'm trying to do, and then you sitting on your ass. You can't say that and then not show that you are genuinely putting forth the effort. If you're genuinely putting forth the effort, good people will see that. They will see the potential. You feel me? So, but that goes to what? It all goes back to Ace. It's authenticity, dog. If you really a dude trying to be the best version of yourself, who's not gonna want that dude?
So basically, like, coming through the door is better if you just do that, because then you'll differentiate the ones that is like, they just trying to get a bag, or they trying to, really fuck with you for who you are.
Check out my YouTube channel. We just did a show. We just did an episode of the regular podcast, not the lives, where I do a video on Puff Daddy, right? And all the, Puffy's is allegedly is force effing everybody, right? He just but let's be honest. Here's a dude who's not, I said this check the podcast out because it's dope on YouTube, Man School 202. What I talked about was, here's a guy who has got the bag, right? He's got the Lambos, he's got the house. He's not a bad looking dude. He has power, he has prestige, he has all of these things, and yet and still he's got goons that were chasing Cassie around, making sure that she had no space to talk to nobody else. So here's a dude who's a straight simp. You a straight sucker, because you had all the resources that every chick says you have to have. You got the cars, the bag, the everything that goes, the house, everything. And you still had to pay dudes to make sure that your chick didn't give somebody a blowy on the side.
That's wild.
You're literally stalking people. You're spending money with your goons, beating up somebody, I'm gonna string this chick out on drugs so that she don't leave me. I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a cornball. You're a cornball. You got no game at all. all the money, all the deals you did, all the people, prestige, and the power you have, you ain't got no game. You can't even talk to a chick and just on the merits of who you are as a person is not enough. You know why? Because he don't think he's enough. And how? What else could you want? You know what I'm saying? If you had all that he had, but you'd still be a sucker, you'd still be a simp. This is what I'm saying. The game, you know what I'm talking about here is some other level stuff. I mean, we had a viral thing, Myq. We had that viral thing about Will Smith. I said Will Smith's worth $500 million, but he goes home to his infinity pool filled with his tears because he lives with a woman who doesn't love him. Who don't know Will Smith? Who wouldn't smash Will Smith? But he got this little bald-headed chick, right, who treats him like trash. It's crazy. You feel me? So you gotta lead with anything, and this is also the difference when you talk about the difference in my critique of Kevin Samuels and what he was talking about, because he was trying to simplify money, prestige, high value. Man, life don't happen that way. I remember having I'm telling you, like a Metro card and smashing chicks with dough. Because a woman only deals with a guy who's better than her. Now, when I say better, women go crazy when I say that. But what I mean is better is a relative term. I was a young dude who was ambitious and had dreams and things that I wanted to do. And no matter what things happened that was bad, I always knew I always had that optimism that I could always find my way out. I was dating this chick who was a captain of the detective, NYPD detective, and she had the BM, the condo, the this. But, dog, she worried about everything, worried about the bills, the insurance, her 401k, her mama. So, like, what she found in me that was better was that the fact that I had this positive attitude, positive can-do attitude, that I didn't give a fuck. And because she was a bad chick, I wasn't intimidated. I mean, I would walk in her condo, pin her to the wall and frisk her, and at the front door. You know what I mean? And she's like, and she was, I was 20 years old, and she was like 30, 33, 34, and she was like, damn, this motherfucker, he don't give a fuck. But what she liked about me was the fact that I didn't give a fuck because she gave a fuck about everything. So better is a relative term, and you never know what that thing is. It's just like if you act like a pussy, women don't like you when you act like a bitch. You know why? Because a heterosexual woman wants a man. She doesn't want a bitch. Even if she fucks with a lesbian, she don't want what she got already. She wants some baseball cap wearing stud.
Yeah.
That's a little safer, which is this whole thing. But, dog, I appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks, man.
My dog.
All right.
My dog, you a legend, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks, fam.
Thanks for coming.
Like,
All right.
subscribe, DanteNero.com. Click on consult. You can get me on a one-on-one. But I'm doing it for free right now, Myq. Myq, is there any way we can get some AC in here? I'm heating up now. I had like 4 double espressos, so I'm grinding it out. 347-464-2827. Call in. I charge for this, and I'm doing it for free on air right now. Ask me whatever. Don't forget the super chats. Send me the super chats. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Anytime I go live, you will know. So you can get these gems for free. Instagram, The Dante Nero. Instagram also, Man School 202. All the good shit. Facebook, all that stuff. I was talking about. I didn't finish the conversation, and I'm listening to y'all when y'all. I'm reading the comments. So I've been told that sometimes I'll be in a situation where I'll be making a point, and then I'll get off track and I won't come. So let me go back. When I'm talking about my man that drilled the pots, all of a sudden now you have the separation is no longer about whether or not this guy is good enough or am I making a mistake. Now the argument is he drilled my pots. This is why I tell dudes, stop yelling, stop arguing. If somebody's going to yell and scream, you cannot engage in that. Because the minute you yell back, the minute you let emotion have a seat at the table, trust me, it will not, the argument will, or the discussion will no longer be about the discussion. It will be about what you did. It will be about you drilling the pots, putting holes in the rice maker. So you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep your composure. 347-464-2827. Like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. DanteNero.com. Click on consult. GYBB, get your balls back. www.dyd. Yo, we doing it live. It's interesting. And the newest episode of the podcast is up now, and I explore this whole thing with Puffy. And, you know, what you would think it's not even relevant because of the fact that you're talking about alleged molestation and all kinds of stuff. But here's what it is, dog. Dudes, and this is Harvey Weinstein. This is Epstein. This is Weinstein, Epstein, Jerry Iveen, who actually was the dude who taught Puffy everything, who was known for sexual assault, for SA and stuff like that, and making dudes do stuff they didn't want, making women do stuff they didn't want to. The thing is this, dog. You have guys that have no game, that create power, money, and prestige so that they can bend people's will, because they have no confidence in who they are as people, and they're trash human beings. And so deep down, they know. People know right from wrong. You know if you ain't a legitimate dude. And so when you present yourself knowing that you're trash, that people ain't going. We got a call. Let's go.
Hey, am I actually on?
Caller, you're on the air. What's your name? Where you from?
Oh my God, Gandhi, I'm in Vegas right now. Oh my God! First of all, holy shit, Dante, bless your heart for everything.
Thank you, brother.
You did my second father. My God, I've been listening to your I have binged the fuck out of your podcast.
Thank you, brother.
Since
Appreciate you.
The beginning of COVID, and oh my God, bless your heart, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. How can I help you? Talk to me.
So I've been dating my girlfriend now for about 2 years, and I knew when we were good friends that she was mentally unstable. Like she was emotional.
In what way? Is she bipolar? She bipolar, schizophrenic? What?
Bipolar, depression, and anxiety.
Okay.
And I feel like at some point my personality just always brings it out of her. Like I'm loud, I'm naturally loud, and I trigger something. And sometimes I'm just being me, and all of a sudden she's overthinking things, and I'm just.
When you say overthinking, what do you mean? Is it jealousy? Is it just triggered because of something you said? What are we talking about here?
So when I say triggered, all of a sudden she she goes quiet on me. Emotionally she shuts down.
Okay.
She'll shut down sometimes.
And what do you say when she does shut down? What do you say? What do you say to her?
At first, usually we're in the car, we're going out. So when I notice, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I wait for an answer. I'm like, okay, I try to see what she sees.
Wait a minute.
I try to
you
hold
say
her.
You wait for an answer and you don't get an answer.
Yeah, she becomes quiet all the way. She's shuts down.
Okay, there's two things here that so anytime somebody talks to me, there's always a subtext of what they're saying and what they mean and what they say. So let me say this. The first thing you said was I'm loud and I'm mean and and I find myself triggering her, right? So what that says to me is that you already know what triggers her, correct?
Sometimes. Other times
Yeah,
I
but
really don't.
but sometimes that you know that you being loud triggers her.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, why are you being loud?
You know how you was on the Godfrey podcast, and then Man, I forgot to guess, but all of a sudden he said, "Dante, why are you so loud?" And then you had
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
took
yeah,
you with it.
yeah.
It was like that for me. So like I just
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you. Do you remember what I said after that?
yeah, you really took it in consideration. You started
And then
really,
and
like,
then what did
quieting
I
down,
do from that?
and you started quiet, be more quiet, a
Just
little bit lower.
to be mindful of it, because you can't be like if you're a human being and you are not aware of what's going on, right? That's one thing. But if somebody is aware of what's going on, and there's a slight adjustment you could make to make people more comfortable. Now, we're not talking about punking you down or whatever. We're talking about something as fundamental. Now, let me say something. I'm going to say something, and I love TK to death. But TK, it was also a shitty thing to do. Like, in retrospect, I mean, he was clowning me, and it was all in fun, and I'm a comic, and I don't get sensitive about it. But he could have just as well said that to me anytime off air. You feel me?
Yeah.
And if he had said to me off air, "Dog, why you talk so loud?" I would have said, "You think so?" And we would have had the conversation. But he specifically did it on air to clown me, which I'm not mad at him. I mean, we're comics. We do what we do. But let's be honest. His intention wasn't to make me a better person. His intention was to clown me. Correct?
Maybe, yeah.
Not maybe. There's nothing about it. I mean, if he had said that I was loud all these other times when we were on the phone, he could have said it 100 times before, and he didn't say it. So he did it specifically to clown me for the laugh, which I'm not mad at him. I mean, we're comics and everything else. But the real empathetic thing would have been to pull me aside and say, "Do you feel what I'm saying?"
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, so, but I don't care. Because him or nobody else, they don't define me as a person. So when somebody has a criticism, I'm going to go, is what they're saying realistic? Is it reasonable, fair, and firm, right? Is it reasonable that I could be, and I examine it, and then I just make the adjustment, because now I'm a better person because of it. You feel me? So when you say I'm loud and it triggers me, what I would say to you is stop triggering her. And then at least, I don't know what the percentage is, but at least half the time she wouldn't be triggered.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And don't put your name on it. Like, don't put your put some respect on my name. I'm loud, I'm gonna stay loud. For what? If you love this girl and you're empathetic to her, this is the empathy part of ACE. This is the E in empathy. If you understand that she has mental problems and this is triggering her, why would you continue to do that? Now, once you you make these adjustments, right? If she's triggered for no reason, then what you do is you go home. She shuts down and you go, "Listen, you don't seem like you want to go out. Let's just go home and chill at home," right? Now, what do you think she would do if you said that?
She would start crying.
Okay, and then you go back home. You would say, "Why are you crying?" And what would she say if she started crying?
A couple of things that she does. She immediately starts apologizing, like, for her, like, just crying because she's crying because she doesn't even know what's wrong.
Okay, but here's my thing. Then all you have to do you want to go out or not? If you don't want to go out, we can go home.
Mm-hmm.
And what would she say?
She would just say, "I don't know."
She would go, "I don't know." Then you go home.
Okay.
And y'all cuddle up and watch. Like, you got to understand something. As much as there is mental illness and all of that, right? But crazy people ain't crazy all the time. I do a joke about Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was eating gay dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on a slow Tuesday, right? He might have went to the corner bodega and got a turkey and cheese sandwich, right? Something very normal, right? So what I'm saying is people choose when they allow their. I mean, yes, I agree that sometimes people are triggered, but people choose when they express their crazy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I watch. We talk about TK when TK was on Mike Tyson shit. Mike Tyson looked like he lost his shit, but he wasn't clowning Mike Tyson, right? So as much as we're outgoing, we pick and choose our spots. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
And so I'm not saying that there's not a real representation of some bipolarism, but what I'm also saying is that when you hold somebody accountable, the fact that she wants to have a relationship with you and she wants to be responsible, then part of it is the fact that she has to make an effort to do that. And the things that where I just cry or I don't respond or I don't speak up, then there has to be a consequence to that, and that consequence has to be where you go, okay, let's go home. And if she cries, you, well, why are you crying? I only want to go home because you don't seem happy. Well, I'm sorry. Well, don't be sorry if you don't feel up to it. You don't feel up to it. It's fine. But you got to not feed into the emotion as well, because she will talk to you if she has to talk to you. Do you understand?
Yeah, she does. She does do that. You're right.
When it needs to be talked, if it meant you leaving or walking out of the relationship, she'll open her mouth and say something. We all of us as human beings, we make decisions about what's important, and we do what's important. So if I could just keep silent, not communicate, not talk, then I could do that for the rest of my life if you're gonna allow it. If you got a chicken, I've counseled guys who, my girl keeps cheating on you. Yeah, because you keep staying. If she cheats on you, leave. I say that to a girl too. If my man keep cheating on you, that's because you staying. You got to make people make decisions. And to the same token, I'm telling you, if you think your voice is loud and you're making, you know what I'm saying? And you're making, you're triggering her by being loud. Stop being loud. There's an old joke. It says, doctor, my elbow hurts when I move it like that. He goes, you stop moving it like that. You feel me?
Right. I know I do get told a lot that I'm loud and that I don't know how to whisper, and I do try to be mindful for it. So I'm going to try. What I'm going to do is be more mindful about my volume.
And isn't that better for you? Isn't it better for you that social interactions for you are more pleasant because people want to be around you because you're not annoying and you're not abrasive and you're not loud where people have to go, fuck, I don't want to talk to that dude, you know?
Yeah.
It gives you an opportunity
can I ask another question?
Sure, real quick. We got one more we got to go, though, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my next thing is sometimes when I double down, she likes to she'll double down. She'll double down and then be.
What do you mean? What do you mean by double down?
So sometimes I make a decision, or if I'm with a group and I double down on a statement, and she clearly dislikes that what I've said or what I've done, and then all of a sudden there's a huge tension, and she doubles down. We're just at a what do you call it? We're just battling each other.
You're giving me you're talking about this. Give me an example, a specific example.
Sorry, yeah. I'm trying to think. Earlier, we were just I was with a bunch of my family, and I had tried to. God, I'm trying to remember. God, I can't even remember because I'm so excited that I'm talking to you. No, well, forget it. I can't remember it.
All right, well, but here's what I would say: if somebody doubles down and there's no room for compromise, then you're in the wrong relationship. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, people are gonna do what they want to do, unless of course they want that kind of toxicity. I get to be in my truth, but I also have to be respectful of the fact that people get to be in their truth, And if I can do both of those things, if we can both do it, both of those things, two things you'll always have to do as a human being is give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. And so nobody is above that. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so we all come from different walks of life, we're raised different, and we're trying to find the compromise. Look up the word compromise. It means that neither one of us get all of what we want. But the measure of the relationship is important enough that I'm willing to stick that out. And that you're important to me and I'm important to you. You feel me?
I feel you. Man, you were saying stuff that's so old from the Beige Phillip, I shouldn't be remembering this.
It's fine, dog.
Oh, my God. Again, thank you so much, Dante. Thank you so much, Myq. You guys are amazing.
I appreciate you.
I need to make a consultation with you.
Dante Nero.com. Click on consult. You need a consultation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, all the good shit. All of that stuff helps me in the algorithm, helps me grow. I'm trying to grow this family, yo. Please, 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 please. Myq, let's wrap it up. You ready?
Yeah, let's wrap this shit up. Let's get
go.
ready for Godfrey. In Godfrey we trust, live every Tuesday.
It's going to be a hot one. Let's get it. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Peace. We out of here.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.